Okay, so let's dive into this whole Nick Wright Jokic thing. The gist is Nick Wright is saying that no one has had a bigger impact on winning this year than Chris Paul. CP should be the MVP, and look, I love Chris Paul, and I think he is better than his stats. But to me, Jokic has made the biggest impact on winning among everybody this season, especially lately when Jamal Murray has been out and the Nuggets have still been really good. The other thing here is, Nick says the Suns were 26 and 39 before the bubble. Well, the bubble matters, right? I mean, they won 8 straight, and if they took that same exact team into this year, I think that team could have competed for a playoff spot. Obviously, look, Chris Paul made them way better, but to act like Jokic doesn't compare to Chris Paul at all in impact of winning, which is kind of a vague thing. I know what he means, but it's still vague. I don't think it's right. And then he has this other take, which I just don't really get. It's, if Jokic wins MVP, he'd be the worst player to do so since Dave Cowens in almost 50 years. Like, why does this matter? What is this new thing with NBA media where it's like, we need to make it a negative? Like, can't it just be that Jokic is having a great season, and then when his career is over, we talk about, or not even when his career is over, but we could talk about it as it goes, but it's just like, what is the jump to negativity here? Like, even if you believe Chris Paul's the MVP, which again, I disagree with, why does it have to then be a Jokic would be the worst MVP in whenever or whatever? Like, why? I mean, where does Chris Paul rank all time? I don't know, give or take number 30 or so. Wouldn't he technically be somewhere kind of down the list of MVPs if he were to win it? Like, I just feel like it goes both ways if you want to use this toxic logic. And then Nick just started replying to pretty much everyone on Twitter who disagreed with this. Because again, it's just, not even disagree, I don't even know if that's the right word. I'm just going back to, like, is this necessary? Also, like, bro, Jokic is really good and he's like 26. Who says Jokic doesn't become the, like, 12th best player of all time by the time he retires? I mean, the guy's amazing. Like, why are we just cementing his career now at such a young age? Like, he's going to be amazing for another decade. And then Andy Bailey had a take where he just, he does his thing where he does like player stats and doesn't tell you who the actual players are. And then Nick does his like, well, stats shouldn't matter at all thing. It's like, well, okay, man. Like, we all know that Chris Paul is better than the casual who might look at his numbers and go, well, he averages 19 points. How good really is he? But you're just going too far here, man. Like, Jokic is the MVP. It's okay. You're not the cool guy for not believing it. You can acknowledge that Jokic is the guy. Now, Andy does bring up Chris Paul's net rating being 6th on the Suns. I don't care about that either. I don't think that was the argument to go with. And then Laker Film Room brings up something that I brought up before the season, where I just basically said Giannis is probably going to be the rightful MVP, but he's not going to get it just because. And it's like, are people just bored with him winning it? I guess. I mean, go look at Giannis's numbers compared to last season. He's basically the same guy. All right, so now Nick Wright, he just went all in. He said careers of MVPs the last 40 years, and it's, every NBA player you've ever heard of. And then his thing is like, who is Jokic going to be better than? Or, he's right here. I mean, you're telling me Jokic, by the time he retires, can't be better than Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Westbrook, David Robinson? Like, yeah, it's an insane list, but Jokic is an insane player. Like, we don't know what the hell is going to happen. And again, the other thing is, why does this matter? Who the hell cares? Like, just give him credit for being the MVP, man. I mean, you think Dirk was 14th before winning the title in 2011? Everybody had Dirk, like, mid-20s, and people kind of made fun of him until 2011. Now, this is the other clip that's been going around, where Nick Wright just basically says the ratings are not good if he talks about Jokic.
Talking about Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets is not good for ratings, folks.
And I've seen a lot of people kind of take this as like this is why he hates Jokic, and this is kind of like what the header is. I think he's more so saying, if I was in this for ratings, I wouldn't be talking about Jokic at all. Now, could you still do some sort of psychology about him saying that and him dismissing the Nuggets inherently because of this take or whatever? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And now we're going to go from that to Anthony Davis's disaster of an AMA. Maybe I'll make a whole video on this for the second channel, I don't know. But anyway, the first one was, AD, can you explain the video? And it's the video of him in the locker room with basically no clothes on, not going to show it for YouTube. If you know, and most of you know, then you know. Hey AD, I met you back in 2009, back in high school. You were already pretty famous. I remember you being pretty down to earth and chill. I took a pic with you too. And there you go. You get it. Do you and LeBron scissor? Well, there you go. Would you rather fight one LeBron-sized duck or 100 duck-sized LeBron Jameses? I mean, I feel like a LeBron James-sized duck would just destroy you, right? AD, how many times a month would you say you've actually opened and eaten a bag of Ruffles? Probably not too much. Hey Anthony, big fan. Love your music reviews. Just curious, were you surprised by the backlash after you gave My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy a 6? Oscar Robertson rooting for Russ to break his triple-double record? Well, he's definitely going to. I hope he gets it. I think he's one of the elite guards in basketball. We got a positive quote out of Oscar Robertson. That doesn't happen very often. Let's appreciate it. Kyrie airballs a wide-open layup. This is the most me thing possible. Now, Kyrie did go off in the game overall. I think he had like 45 points or something. But let's just, why not? We acknowledge that, but I don't know what happened there. Draymond tells Juan Toscano-Anderson to run a fake dribble handoff with Steph, resulting in an easy dunk. And so, yeah, Draymond sets the screen. Fake handoff? Well, yeah, because what happens is you get Steph Curry moving a little bit. The defense is going to freak out on you, and you get a bucket. Nets are 27-7 with Harden, 16-17 without him. Is there something to say here about the fact that Harden is the best passer out of the three of those guys, therefore he might be the most equipped to carry in the regular season, even if he's not better than Kevin Durant? Maybe, I don't know. And Paul George drops Caruso and hits the three. Should we be worried about the Lakers at all at this point? LeBron's got the ankle. AD had back spasms. I don't know. Might be that year for the Lakers, Was this really dropping him, or did he just kind of push him a little bit? TJ Warren requesting a trade, sitting out to avoid Bjorkgren. Don't push me to false narratives. Yeah, I mean, whether this was true or not, I'm going to believe all the other stuff with Bjorkgren. I mean, there's too many people saying the same thing. Boogie hits a three, gets the steal, throws it on the fast break. Where is DeMarcus? Oh, he's right here. He's going to pop because Boogie does not roll to the basket at all anymore. But he will go on the fast break, as we're going to see in a moment here. This play is taking forever. There we go. Eventually DeMarcus is moving. The crew lock in their predictions. Ernie has the Jazz go into the finals. It could be right. Could be right.